The boys are back on the desk, which means it's time to talk sports. New Zealand Herald sports journalists Chris Reive and Nathan Limm. Kia ora koroa.
Morning.
Let's talk about the cricket. Off to a pretty good start yesterday.
Yeah. Bolden Windies out for 205 on day one, and then Tom Latham and Devon Conway are at the crease. Black Caps 24 without loss. So it's a really good start. It was overshadowed a little bit though by a shoulder injury to Blair Tickner, who was New Zealand's best bowler of the day, took 4 wickets, and it's another hit to New Zealand's fast bowling stocks, which are already taken so many blows, with Matt Henry out as well, Kyle Jamieson. So that is going to be a challenge for the Black Caps, and we saw in the last test when they were reduced to just a couple of fast bowlers, they really struggled to derail the West Indies in that final innings, and that's what resulted to the draw. So as the pitch browns off, it'll be easier for batting, and as you said, New Zealand off to a good start with the bat, so it should be a great day of cricket.
Yeah, so what are your predictions today other than a great day of cricket?
I think the Black Caps will look to bat for the entire day if they can. The pitch could be a little bit tricky potentially. We saw when New Zealand were bowling, there were a couple of balls that kept quite low. So I think there's an element of unpredictability potentially. But it looked pretty good late yesterday. And as I said, as it browns off, it'll get easier. So the New Zealanders should look to bat the day out.
And will we get another Kane Williamson century?
Hopefully. It would be fantastic.
That's what everyone wants.
It would be fantastic.
We need to talk about the Ashes as well, because it hasn't been going well for England, right? There seemed to be some talk that they just needed to go to the beach and not train so much. Will that save them?
That's what Brendan McCullum seemed to say. Sort of after the second test, obviously they've gone down 2-0, and there was a bit of criticism around why didn't they play warm-up cricket beforehand, and Brendan McCullum said that they'd opted for more net sessions, and if anything, they trained too hard in the lead-up and needed to chill a little bit more leading into the test, because cricket's a game, about the top 2 inches, a lot about the mental game. So if you go in fatigued, potentially that can impact your performance. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how they go about preparation for the third test, because their tactics have been sort of heavily criticised, and the mental strength of their top order in terms of the bat has been under fire.
Let's talk about Formula One, Chris. You've got your annual driver rankings.
Not my rankings.
The Herald's rankings?
So the
International rankings?
Yeah, the Telegraph have put out their own rankings, which was quite interesting to read. They've got their own sort of qualifiers. So you see someone like Lando Norris, who won the championship, ranked, so I think he was ranked 3rd in their rankings. Liam Lawson came in at 17th, which I thought was a little bit harsh, but they've done it based on sort of how they compare to their teammates and then penalty points throughout the year. So there's a whole thing. It's quite interesting to read just how much penalty points come into play in that one. But yeah, Liam Lawson 17th in that one, and they got through 141 practice laps with Liam Lawson just after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Just get some time on the tyres ahead of next season, data in the bank, and now Liam's in the off season, so all good.
Nathan, we heard in the news this morning about Sevu Reece signing for French club rugby.
Yes.
How much of a loss is that?
It is a loss, but I feel like the All Blacks are usually quite stacked in the outside backs. When you've got the likes of Leicester Fainga'a-Nuku coming back as well, he'll really help. He's an option on the wing as well as in the midfield. So I think they will be okay. Sevu Reece is signed with Perpignan on a 3-year deal, we understand, from the end of 2026. So he's still signed with New Zealand Rugby and the Crusaders for next year, and then he will head offshore. I'm not sure if he's obviously decided he doesn't want to go for that 2027 World Cup, which, I mean, comes a point in everyone's career where you want to cash in, and I guess the career longevity of wingers outside backs is so built on pace, age becomes more of a factor than maybe other positions. So you can't blame him for wanting to cash in at this point.
No, not at all. And hey, it's a cultural experience too. Move the family to France. I'm not sure I would be turning it down. Chris, SailGP, transfer season starting.
Yeah.
What are you looking for there?
Plenty going on. Fortunately for the Black Foils, there shouldn't be any, well, if there is some, not much movement for them. So they're all signed on long-term deals. They lost their flight controller at the start of last season, and that made them sort of pivot to giving everyone a decent deal and not having to worry about this. But Kiwi Brad Farrand, he's just moved from Italy to Sweden, so he technically counts as a Swedish sailor. He lives up there, has lived there for 5 years. Another Kiwi, Phil Robertson, he's going to drive for Italy next year. So there's a few sort of bits and pieces falling into place. Still don't know where Andy Maloney's going to land for next season. So yeah, still a lot going on. It keeps things very interesting between seasons, I guess. And there's only a month before the start of next season. So things should fall into place pretty quickly. So there'll be a lot going on there.
Yeah, moving around the chess pieces. Thank you so much, boys. That is Chris Reive and Nathan Limm, New Zealand Herald sports journalists.